Hello guys, in the last video we have seen what exactly the difference between mutable objects and immutable objects, and some examples also, like which one, string class and string buffer, their internal flows we have seen. Now in this video, how it is possible to create our own immutable class, user defined immutable class, how it is possible to create it. How it is possible to create user defined immutable class. That means indirectly I am giving clarity there. Steps to prepare user defined immutable class. Now here I am going to provide some steps there. Declare an user defined class as a final class. Why we need to declare this class as final class? No, not to allow for extensions. Once if we declare a class as final, it is not possible to allow subclasses. Why we are not allowing subclasses? No, if I declare any variable, maybe chances are available to modify the data inside the variable by taking subclasses. That's why I don't want to allow subclasses. That's why I declared my class as which one? Final. Good. Next one, declare all properties as a final. Declare all properties as a final, and if it is possible, better to go for which one? Private. Declare all properties as final and private. Final in the sense not to allow modifications over that, and private in the sense they will be available up to the respective class only, not allowed to outside of the classes. Why it is private, not allowed to outside of the class in the sense, maybe if it is not private, maybe users may modify the data. Good. Next one is which one? Final. Final in the sense which one? Not to allow modification on its content. This is another point now. Point number 3, provide only getter methods. Getter methods, not to provide setter methods. In general, for all the variables, we are going to provide setters and getters in Java Bean classes. No. Now here, no, don't provide setter methods. Why? Because through setter methods only we are going to modify the data in general. Through the getter method, we are able to get the data. So don't provide setter methods. If you are not providing setter methods, there is no possibility to modify the data in our variables. But provide getter methods. Why? Because we need to access the data. Modify data, we have to access the data. Original data, here we have to access the data. So here we have to perform which one? There we have to provide which one? Getter methods. Next one is which one? Then after that, fourth point is which one? There, declare the methods. Declare the methods for any operation. Declare the methods for any operation where provide operations over the data. Over the data by creating new object at each and every time. So whenever we want to perform modifications on the data, do that modifications by creating new object only. Don't do that operations on the original object. This is another point here now. Alright sir. Now these are the various steps here we have to follow if you want to perform, like if you want to create user defined immutable class. Now by following this, if anything is available, just I will add that on runtime. By following this, I want to prepare which one? There, an example. Now try to recognize this example. If you observe this example, easily we are able to understand how we are able to prepare our own immutable class here. Let's say for example, now I want to take which one here? Class calculator. Calculator is a class here I want to take. As per the first point here, what we have to do? Declare an user defined class as which class there? No, final class. So I have to declare this class as which one there? No, final. Final class calculator. Here we declare like this. Right, so this is one point. Next one is which one? Then after that, after declaring this final class calculator like this, no, then what next one here we have to do there? I want to declare a count variable. To this count variable, I want to provide like which one there? No, increment and decrement operations. Increment count and decrement count value. If I am going to perform incrementation, automatically I want to create a new object. Inside this new object only here I want to perform the respective operation. If you want to perform decrement operation there, I need to create which one? The new object. In that new object only the decrement operation here has to be performed. So first of all here I need to take which one here? Like a count variable I want to take now. So here int count. So what I said, clearly, declare all properties as final and private. Declare all properties as which one? Final and private. So I want to declare it as a final, not to allow modifications on its content. Through the constructor, whatever the value we are providing as a first value, that will be final. Next one is, I don't want to give access for this variable in outside. I don't want to give any access for this variable in outside kernel. That's why here we declared this variable as which variable there? No, final variable clearly. Alright, sir. Okay, fine. Now here what we have to provide there? Private final int count. Let's say for example, initially I want to provide which value here? No, 0 value here we provided. No problem. Otherwise just don't do like this. Now here I want to go for which one? Constructor here we want to provide. Through the constructor here we want to assign the data. Now constructor here we can allow, no problem. Public calculator. Now here I want to go for which one? Count value. Now inside this here what I am going to do there, I have to provide which one there? This dot count is equal to, directly here I want to provide which one there? Count value directly. It's okay. Here we provided. Through the constructor only we are providing assignment. So not possible to provide assignment for this count variable as we declared it as a final. Through the constructor table allow assignment. If it is final, it is not possible to provide the data like another content can. This is one thing. Next one is, to access the data of the count variable, I need to prepare getter method only, not to prepare which one there? No, setter method. Understand this clearly? Provide only getter methods, not to provide setter methods. Why? Because if you provide setter methods, we are trying to modify the data. No, don't provide setter methods. We have to provide only getter methods. Now let me declare this getter method directly. So how we are going to declare this getter method directly? No, public. Now insert this here. What we have to do there? Public and int get a count method. Now inside this here what we want to do there? Return this dot count. Return this dot count. This dot count in this is current class object. What is current class object? I will discuss with you later on. Next one is, with respect to this count variable we can provide our business methods. In our business methods, whenever we are trying to modify the data, create a new object. In that new object only we have to modify the data. Don't perform operations with old object. Now here what we have to do there? I want to perform two business methods. What are my two business methods here? Public int increment value, not int. Now here I want to provide which one here? Calculator. Return type is calculator. Increment value. Increment by 1, only one value. Now inside this here what we have to do now? Already present count value is available. Now I want to increment that value. That incremented value has to be provided in the new object. I need to get every time calling of this increment method, I need to create new object. So here we need to prepare calculator. Cal is equal to the new calculator of int count. Already one count value is available. To this count value I want to increment by 1. So here what we have to do there? This dot count plus 1. Already count value is existed here. This dot count plus 1 that we provided here. It's okay. Next one is, then after that here we need to return which one here? No, return cal. Just we want to return calculator. No, that means here already incremented value. That incremented value for count only we are passing to which one there? No, cal reference. That means calculator constructor here. Now just we want to return cal. This is about clearly which one? Increment method. Every time calling of this increment, automatically new calculator object is created. The same new calculator object will be returned. In the new calculator object, incremented value of the count value will be provided. Already we provided some count value. To this count value we are incrementing that value now. Next one is which one? Then after that, public calculator. Next one is decrement. Decrement method here we are going to perform. Decrement operation also be here we want to perform. Again here what we have to do there? Calculator. Cal is equal to new calculator of this dot count minus 1. This dot count minus 1. What exactly the present count value is available? With a minus 1, the resultant value will be stored in which one? Then new calculator object. Now here we have to return which one? Cal reference value directly. Return calc that we provided directly. Okay sir, good. Now increment here we provided and decrement also be here we provided directly. Every time calling of this increment or decrement operations, we are creating which one? Calculator object. Through this calculator object, we are returning the respective object, respective cal object here we are returning. Now here get method, get count is also existed here. Totally, we declared calculator class as which one? Final. No, so no subclasses are allowed to modify the content. Our variable I declared here, this is final and private here. So its scope is not available out to outside of the class, and moreover, inside the class also, time to time we are not going to modify this. A constructor here we have taken, it is a public constructor only, then where parameter should be some count value. It's okay, this dot count is equal to count. Public calculator increment. So increment operation we are trying to perform. So here we are creating calculator object by incrementing count value and return cal value. Next one, public calculator decrement. Decrement operation here we are performing. So every time calling of this decrement operation we are creating calculator object. To this calculator object here we are passing which one? They know this dot count -1, like this here we provided, and return cal value. Next one is public int get count method here we are calling, and return this dot count value here we are providing there. Next one is I want to prove this one, I want to check it. Now first of all here I want to create calculator cal is equal to, what we want to do, calculator cal is equal to new calculator 10 is a count value here I provided initially. Initial count value is which one? 10. Now here I want to display the value system.out.println of cal I want to display there. Okay, cal dot get a count method here we want to perform. Okay, now before that here what we want to do there, I want to display cal1. For example here I want to display this which one there? Cal1. Now here also cal1 and plus space and a plus, like this here we are providing. This is cal1. Now here count value here I want to get here count. Initial count here we are getting there, initial reference value, then after that, and this respect to like count value is also displayed here directly. Next one is which one there? Calculator. Now here calculator cal2 is equal to cal1 dot increment that we performed here. Now I want to display that exact values here again. Now here system.out.println of, first of all I want to display cal2 whether it is creating new object or same object difference. I want to check it. Next one is which one there? Then after that count value here we are able to get it, no? Okay, and plus cal2 dot get a count method, like this here we are providing system.out.println of cal2 dot colon count colon cal2 dot get count. That value is here we provided here. So first time we displayed cal1 value, after calling increment we are getting calculator object. Now this calculator object reference is same value or different value, that I want to check here. If it is same value, then our class is not immutable class. If it is not same value, then definitely our class is which one? They know immutable class. No. Similarly, calculator cal3 is equal to, right sir. Now just I want to go for which one there directly. I want to go for decrement value. No, decrement value here we want to perform there. Maybe on cal2 or cal1, whatever it may be, we can perform your decrement operation maybe on either of this one here. No. So here cal1 dot decrement I want to perform there. When we perform this decrement operation over this cal1 here, now I want to display the values system.out.println of cal3 plus colon count colon, now here just cal3 dot get a count value. Here we are getting that. So on cal1 object we are performing increment value where we are getting new object difference. That new object difference value we are displaying, and as well as count value also here we are displaying there. Next one is whenever we are calling this decrement, again here we are getting calculator object where we are displaying that cal value, and as well as which one? It's a count value. Directly here we are displaying that. Now here I want to run this example and I want to show some output here from this program. Now try to recognize this. So time to time I am displaying reference values and as well as which one? They know count values clearly. Observe this clearly. Initially we provided which value here? No, 10 value. It's okay, fine. If you observe this program output here, com.durgasoft.core.calculator, for calculator class here we prepared. This is initial object, count value is which one? 10. It's okay. This is initial object, count value is which one? No, 10. Next one is here calculate at the rate some value, no. After performing increment operation, this object is created. New object is created on cal 1. So here count value is which one here 11. On the same cal 1, I performed this decrement operation. Cal 1 data is 10 only still. Cal 1 data, even if we perform increment operation there, new object is created. In the new object only we are getting that new data. But cal 1 object reference value is which one here, no, 10 only here we are getting it. Now, then whenever we are performing decrement operation, in the decrement operation automatically here we are able to get which one there, no, decremented by one value here we are getting, but here we are getting which one there, no, new value here we are getting. New value is which one, new object reference value here we are getting. That means whenever we are performing increment operation and a new value we are getting, whenever we are performing decrement operation, here new value here we are getting this. So totally, so if whenever we are performing operations over the data, whenever we are trying to perform operations over the data, automatically new objects are created. In the new objects only that respective new data will be stored. Old object data is remains same. Old object data is remains same. Now here we performed these many operations, no. Again here after completion of this, just I want to perform again here which one there, no. Now I want to perform which one here, this data here I want to perform there. That means simply I want to get which one here, sys.out.println of cal1 dot get count method here we want to get now. Initial value on this count is which one, 10 only. Now but here two times we are performing operations. Maybe one time increment, one time decrement here we performed here now. So right, now try to recognize this. After performing that, or else might be, if you want to go for checking now, another proof here I want to provide there. Then what about this another proof here we want to provide there regarding this? First of all here I want to perform which one then, no, calculator. Now cal is equal to, okay fine, cal is equal to, now here what we want to perform there, new cal of 10 here we provided now, that's fine. Next one is which one, then after that I want to call which one there, call dot increment, here we are getting there, right sir. Now this is about which one there, no, calculator and cal1 is equal to cal dot increment value here we are getting it. It's okay. Now initially here we are performing which one there, no, sys.out.println of cal dot get count 10 we are able to get here. Now I performed this increment, no. Now here we are able to get sys.out.println of cal1 dot get count here we are able to get incremented value here we are getting. But again here what I want to perform there, sys.out.println of again cal dot get count here I want to perform there, cal dot get count. That means after performing this increment operation, now here I want to perform which one there, no, I want to get count value from this cal now. So now I want to check cal, that means initial object data is changed or not. Now here I want to show exact output here clearly, no. Now this is which one here, cal reference value, count value, cal count, okay. Now here we are able to get it. Now this is which one can know, cal1 colon count value and colon plus cal1 dot get count here. Now again here after performing this increment operation here, just I want to perform which one there, cal, again here we want to display this cal value, right sir. Now cal1 cal value here I want to display there, this is cal value. Now okay, I want to go for count plus cal value here we want to get it. So this is about which one can know after performing increment operation here clearly now. Just if we run this example here, what we are able to get now, initial cal value here we displayed now. Initial cal count is which one there, 10. Next one is which one there, cal1 count value is which one, 11. Again cal count value is which one, 10 only. Even though if we perform modifications over this data, but still that old object data is remains same here. Same operation here we can do by using this which one here, no, decrement operation also there, right sir. Now here I want to have one line space, no. Next one is which one, then after that here what we have to do there after completion of this, just I want to go for which one there, now calculator and cal3, cal1 here we are getting there, and cal2 is equal to cal dot decrement value here we want to perform there. Right, sir. Now after completion of this here, what we want to do there? I want to display first of all cal to data. Now here sys.out.println of here whatsoever we want to display, which one there, cal to and count plus cal to dot get count method. Let's say cal to is which one, decremented object that we are getting there. After performing this decrement operation also here, what we want to perform there, no, cal and next one is which one, then after that colon. Now here what we have to provide there, no, count, right sir, colon plus now here we need to perform which one, cal dot get count. Observe this clearly. After performing decrement operation also, I want to display cal object count value. The still here we are able to get the same 10 value here we are getting here, but decremented output we are getting in different object difference, no, but original object data is very same. So here the point is which one, very clearly the point here what I am telling now, initially calculator object here we created where initial data is count. We performed increment operation. After performing increment operation also cal object data is same. We perform a decrement operation. Even after performing decrement operation also cal object data is same. No? That means every time operation over the calculator, that new object is going to be created, and new object only the data modification is going on. So in this scenario, in this example here, directly here we are able to understand that calculator class is acting as which one, immutable class. This calculator class is acting as which one, they know, immutable class directly. This is what exactly the meaning of which one, immutable class. How to prepare user defined immutable class.